What's going on, guys, and welcome back to News to Astonish. We discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And Spider-Man No Way Home is already officially out, and it's been so for the last few days. I've actually seen the movie a couple times already in theaters, and it's always better the next time around. So Spider-Man No Way Home is doing really well, from box office records to actually the people at Marvel Studios and Sony wanting to develop a fourth Spider-Man movie, and this will be the first time that we actually get a fourth Spider-Man movie in the same franchise. Before, movies such as, specifically superhero franchises have always had a bad luck of always making the third movie being the worst movie. Not the case with Spider-Man in the MCU, at least. The third movie, being my favorite out of all three Spider-Man MCU films, is the best one. Spider-Man No Way Home is the best Spider-Man film to date as far as the Spider-Man MCU movies. There's always that bad luck third movie that, when franchises come out with a third movie, it tends to do poorly. It's like people maybe got tired of the character. But this goes to show that when you have a good movie with a great story, with great characters that you really love and care about, the studios will actually go ahead and proceed to make more. They want to make more movies. So right now, we have good news that Sony and Marvel Studios are actively developing Spider-Man 4. Now, the box office records, I will not go into detail, but I will do so tomorrow. And also stick around for the live stream tonight, because I will be going into spoilers. And also, talking about spoilers, there will be minor spoilers here and there in this video. So if you guys haven't seen the movie and you're going to go ahead and see it later on this week, maybe perhaps tomorrow, now's your chance to click away. Without further ado, let's get started. But before we do that, I want you all to hit that like button, subscribe, click on bell notifications so you all don't miss anything. Post videos every day. And at least I do live streams twice a week on Tuesdays and Sundays from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Join my Discord. The invitation link to that is in the description box below, along with the links to my social media, such as my Twitter and, of course, my Instagram. So let's go ahead and get into the story. And Spider-Man No Way Home has only been out for the world for one day. Now, this is coming from superherohype.com. Regardless, Sony and Marvel Studios are already kicking around ideas for the next chapter in Peter Parker's MCU journey. In a new interview with the New York Times, Marvel boss Kevin Feige and producer Amy Pascal confirmed the development on a potential Spider-Man 4 has already begun. And up until now, the status of another Spider-Man movie set in the MCU has been murky. Pascal announced last month that Tom Holland would continue to play the web-slinger in a new trilogy of Spider-Man films. However, Holland himself has cast doubt on these claims in recent weeks. Although he sounds game to return if the opportunity arises, the 25-year-old actor has indicated a willingness to not only walk away from the role that made him a household name, but also take a break from acting altogether. Now, I kept hearing about this too, and actually I've been knowing about this kind of information regarding Tom Holland taking a break from acting altogether for quite a while now. And in any case, Feige's confirmation essentially guarantees that a fourth installment is on the way. Now, this is coming from Kevin Feige. Amy and I and Disney and Sony are talking about, yes, we're actively beginning to develop where the story heads next, said Feige, which I only say outright because I don't want fans to go through any separation trauma like what happened after Far From Home, the previous Spider-Man movie in 2019. That will not be current again. And for those of you who are wondering what he means by that, he's referring to the brief falling out between the two studios from 2019, where it looked like there wouldn't be any more MCU Spider-Man movies. Obviously, the two have worked it out now, and something Pascal reiterates, stating, "We're producers, so we always believe anything will work out. I love working with Kevin. We have a great partnership along with Tom Rothman, who runs Sony and has been instrumental, a great leader with great ideas. I hope it lasts forever." And that also was coming from digitalspy.com. At the end of the movie we just made, you see Spider-Man make a momentous decision, one that you've never seen him make before, said Pascal. It's a sacrifice, and that gives us a lot to work with for the next film. And that's true. If you've seen Spider-Man No Way Home, spoilers, okay? At the very end of the film, I've actually commented in the community posts and on social media how beautiful that ending was. Sad, but beautiful. And what I mean by that is Spider-Man, Peter Parker specifically, has gone with the decision to make the world forget who he is. However, people know of Spider-Man, but they just don't know the Peter Parker identity. So it's as if the world forgot about him, which they did, and Peter Parker doesn't really exist in a way. So essentially, Spider-Man has become Spider-Man. He's his own superhero. He's his own character. He jumps out of a window of his apartment in New York City in his comic book accurate costume. Mind you, it is a beautiful looking suit. I loved it. When I saw that, I grinned really hard, like a little child in a candy store. When I saw that, I was like, wow, they went with that route. And it's true. because Peter Parker is not known to the world and people just know that there's a Spider-Man but not Peter Parker, it really does open the door to a lot of stories. And a lot of those stories I personally want to see are from the comics, from like the Spider-Man comics and Amazing Spider-Man comics. Or who knows, they may even go to the Spectacular Spider-Man route. It's a possibility. It really does open the doors to a lot of opportunities, to the introduction of a lot of characters that I want to see in those movies. And I really am curious to know where Spider-Man will go next from here on in. And I'm glad to know that it'll be another trilogy featuring the same actor that played Spider-Man already 6 times in the MCU. So, with No Way Home officially playing in theaters, we can now definitely say that Sony and Marvel Studios gave us the biggest Spider-Man movie ever. In addition to the villains we already knew were coming back, the film celebrated the franchise's 20-year history in the past in the best possible way. But according to Pascal, we shouldn't expect the next sequel to expand the number of supporting characters. Not every Spider-Man movie is going to be a multitude of characters, added Pascal. That approach was right for this one. You can't think about topping yourself in terms of spectacle. Otherwise, movies just get larger and larger for no reason, and it's not a good result. Yeah, and I think they've learned their lesson from past iterations of Spider-Man. But we do want to always try and top ourselves in terms of quality and emotion. Kevin and I never want to lose sight of one thing: Peter Parker, that he's a normal kid, that he's orphaned over and over again, that he's a teenager, so everything in his life is a heightened pitch, and everything matters more than anything. He's fueled by goodness and guilt, he's striving for a greater cause, and he's vilified by the press. Are you happy to hear that Sony and Marvel are officially working together on Spider-Man 4? What villains would you like to see in the film? Tell us your picks in the comment section below. Now, actually, after reading this article, I couldn't help but think to myself, during a time like around the 2002, 2004, 2007 era, when the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films were coming out, after 2007, where Spider-Man 3 came out, it's my least favorite Spider-Man movie out of all of them. I'm just saying. And how I just can't help but like think to myself that, okay, where are the news for the Spider-Man 4 announcement, you know? And supposedly that movie was about to release in 2011 at that time. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm just scouring the internet looking for any news, any possibility about like talks about Spider-Man 4. And now that Spider-Man No Way Home is out, and it's a huge success because of the box office records that it broke, and I'm talking about it completely disregarded that pandemic narrative that movie studios claim is the result of box office failures. It really did break that pandemic narrative. It doesn't exist. People went to the theater to see Spider-Man No Way Home because it's a good movie. The right amount of hype was surrounding it. The right marketing was placed for Spider-Man No Way Home. The pandemic is not going to slow down box office earnings. And that's what happened here. And now, because Spider-Man No Way Home is a success, we can definitely for sure 100% say that Spider-Man 4 is happening, or at least a new Spider-Man trilogy is happening. And I'm excited. Like, they're gonna move forward with it, and Tom Holland's the right actor to continue to play Spider-Man. He loves playing the character. And I cannot wait to see what the future holds for the web slinger. So anyways, that's the news I got for you guys tonight. Stick around for the live stream later on tonight. I will be live streaming. I will be playing Marvel Spider-Man, of course, and I want you guys to join there. We will talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. There will be spoilers in the live stream, of course. Anyways, until next time, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notification so you all don't miss anything, and I will see you all in the next comic panel.